If you've been searching for a gaming chair, I'm sure you've come upon one of these chairs here. So the top one, we have the Blacklyte, this is the Kraken, and then the Razer Iskur V2, and the Corsair TC100, the Titan Evo series from Secret Lab. And we also have this tiny box, this is the GT Racing GT800. Here I have all the chairs assembled. I did test them out for quite a bit. It's not like unboxing and review right away. And they are on this order for a reason. So we got the crappiest to the best here. And so the first one here is the GT Racing, and then we got the Corsair and the Razer, the Blacklyte, and the Secret Lab. When it comes down to assembly, the Secret Lab, the packaging and instructions were super simple. Pretty much anyone can go ahead and do the assembly without any problems at all. Next comes the Blacklyte here. The packaging doesn't really match the Secret Lab one, but it's still super easy to go ahead and assemble everything, really no issues at all. Next, Razer kinda is the same as the Blacklyte one here. And then we get the Corsair one. The assembly was okay. And then the GT Racing, the most terrible one when it comes to assembly, because there's just like so many screws. You need you're gonna spend almost an hour just putting in the screws. First, I just want to go ahead and show you these two for now, so then we can focus on the three here. Looking at the GT Racing, sitting on this, it's not the worst thing. It does have like some nice cushion. The armrests are definitely like this way. They're not like you see on the other ones. And if you go ahead and recline here, as you can see, the armrest kind of move. And it does have this kind of like massage lumbar here, which is kind of like very, very bad. And then we got the pillow here as well. When it comes to time to being like comfortable, it's not so bad. I mean, like if you find it like really cheap and you're getting this and don't mind spending some time like putting in the screws and all that while assembling this chair, then I guess it's okay. But for long term, I can definitely feel like the leather here, the PU leather, I guess, this is probably gonna last you maybe a few months, and then you're gonna see those rips happening on this chair here. Other than that, we got this lumbar support, which can go up and down, and then we got this pillow here. So it's kind of like all old school with these straps here. So next, jumping to the Corsair one here. Looking at the price, I was expecting this to be a better quality, but when you're looking at this, it kind of feels like a decade-old chair. It is, when it comes time to sitting, it is kind of comfortable, I would say, but the bottom here kind of doesn't feel so soft. Lumbar support kind of matches the GT Racing one. Like it does have those straps, like the old school straps here. And the armrest here kind of feels a little flimsy. They're not so great. They just like, this whole chair kind of feels a little bit cheap. And when we're looking at the price, I kind of prefer the GT Racing compared to this, because this is way more expensive than that one there. And looking at the base here, even though like it looks soft, but it is kind of firm when you're sitting on this, and not too comfortable. And at the back here, if you were to remove the pillows and the lumbar support here, the back is definitely going to bother you, because there's little to no cushioning at the back here as well. Now getting to the real comparison here, so we got these three left. So we have the Razer, the Blacklyte Kraken, and the Secret Lab. Take a look at the Razer one here. The pillow, definitely old school, and that's a minus point there. Looking at the lumbar support here, it is adjustable, so we are able to put it higher or lower, or push it outwards and inwards here. This thing doesn't come off like some other chairs do, so when it comes time to cleaning, kind of dirt is gonna sneak back there for sure. That's one thing I've noticed. One thing with the Razer here, the base does kind of feel soft, but when you're sitting, it's a little bit on the firmer side. But the back here, the lumbar support, actually it's really good, no complaints there. You are able to adjust it here. And out of all these ones here, the adjustment feels really good and easy to do. Because with some chairs, when you're like laying back, you're kind of like, even if you have the adjustments here, you kind of have to really try hard to move it up and down. But with this one, feels super easy to do. Overall, the base here, I would give it maybe a 6 out of 10 because it does feel a little bit on the firmer side. So we also have the armrest here, which can go all the way up here, and also we are able to go ahead and rotate these sideways here, bring it closer to you, and inwards, outwards as well. So pretty much you're able to do everything. All of these other ones kind of do the same thing here as well. But one thing this one does is it comes all the way up here. So if you're playing a game on your phone, it just makes it much more comfortable to hold it like this. Next, I have the Blacklyte Kraken here, and it does have a magnetic pillow, which is a bonus there, and it does like move down and up here as well. Lumbar support is not adjustable, but while using this chair, really I did not notice that I needed to go ahead and adjust anything, because it just stays like flush with your back. And it's like out of comparing this one, the Blacklyte, to the Razer there, I find this one way more comfortable. Just like the softness of the base here, definitely there's so much more cushion, and not just on the middle here, also like on the sides as well. Looking at the lumbar support here, it does have this nice plush material, which feels very nice here, which I like. And also even on the sides here, super soft all around. So definitely like cushiony all around. The other thing which I noticed with this one is usually some chairs is when you're sitting like for a long time, after maybe a few months, this portion probably will kind of come up and like warp and all that. But this one, I don't think it's gonna have that issue because the kind of PU leather they're using here, it's great. Really no complaints there at all. When we're looking at the armrest here, we are able to bring them this high, obviously forward and backward here, rotate them. And so we do got if you press this, then you're able like to go ahead and push it up and down. And when it comes time to reclining, I think this one kind of goes the most out of all of the other ones here. It does a really good job, and it doesn't feel like you're gonna like fall back or anything like that. So it goes all the way back here, and pretty much it's actually very comfortable to go ahead and even take a nap if you really wanted to. Next, I'm looking at the Secretlab here. So this chair definitely has that premium look. Even the stitching all around just feels premium. The armrests do have the magnetic, so they do come off here. So when we're looking at the lumbar support, we are able to adjust it here just like we could on the Razer. And so we have both sides, these knobs here, so we are able to push it up and outwards and inwards as well. So we are able to adjust it on both sides here. Even though this chair feels super premium, but when it comes time to looking at the base here, it does feel a little bit on the firmer side. And personally, I like the base here, especially if you're sitting for long hours, at least for this to be a little bit soft and not like you're sitting on a board or something like that. And here it kind of feels a little bit firm. As you can see, it does look like it has like memory foam in a way, but it's just like wish it had a little bit of a thicker foam. Kind of everywhere you touch on this, kind of feels the same firmness as like kind of the base here. We do have this magnetic pillow, which is nice, which I like to see, especially on new chairs here. And when we're looking at the reclining of the chair, it does go quite a bit back here, so it does feel comfortable. One thing I do notice with this chair is the base definitely not as comfortable as the Blacklyte here, because this one just has a little bit more foam. One thing the Secretlab does amazing here is looking at everything all around this chair. Just feels like perfect, the stitching and everything. Really, you cannot find anything missing or kind of like a stitch gone wrong. Everything is just like nice looking here. And then we do have all the logos back here. When I'm looking at the armrest here, we are able to do kind of the same thing as the other chairs here. So bring it backwards, forwards, rotate it here, up and down. This one goes kind of this much high, not as high as the Razer one. So right now I'm just checking out the heights of these chairs. So this is like the lowest, so my feet are definitely touching the ground here, which is good. And I'm about 5'11" there. And if I go ahead and put it all the way up, so this is all the way up. And if I'm sitting here comfortably and kind of like my feet don't really touch the ground right now. And next, the Secretlab here. So kind of same idea. So my feet are definitely touching the ground. I think this one feels a little bit lower than the other one that initially did. So if I go ahead and put it all the way up here, and my feet are really like not touching the ground right now. And the Razer here, same thing, my feet are still like touching the ground. And putting it all the way up. And so my feet kind of like are not touching right now. So they kind of all like have their similar height and lowest adjustment here as well. Next, I'm looking at the kind of like the side walls of the chairs. I think that's what you call them. But anyway, so these here kind of feel good. The thing is, I don't like some chairs when it's like too narrow. It kind of touches your sides, but here there's enough room. So if I moved this way here, it still keeps me inside the chair, but they're not like uncomfortable, which is good. Next, looking at the Secret Lab here, I did notice is the walls here, I guess what I'm calling them now, is they do touch your sides here. So they're a little bit closer to you. So if you're probably a little bit bigger, maybe that's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable. Going to the Razer one, this one, the sides don't even kind of, there's no sides at all, as you can see, almost like they're flush with the lumbar support. Usually when I'm doing a chair review, the best chair I think is the one that you don't really notice or think about. Because if you're starting to think about, oh, the lumbar support, I need to adjust it, this and that, that means the chair is not comfortable. And these three do a pretty good job. So depending on what you're looking at, if you're looking for a softer base, you would go for the Blacklyte. If you're looking for something more premium look and don't really care of the firmness, you like firmer bases here, definitely the Secret Lab does an amazing job the way this looks. It's like it has that nice premium look. And then we also get the Razer here. This pillow here, definitely a big minus there. But the base, not as soft. Lumbar support works great. I think out of all these chairs here, the lumbar support on the Razer, I think it's the best out of them all. They all have the ups and downs here. Just like the Blacklyte here, we are not able to go ahead and adjust the lumbar support while we are on the other ones here. So you're probably asking yourself, so which one does he like the best out of these three chairs here? So the first things first is if you do find any of these three chairs here kind of with a like good price, either of these chairs kind of do their job in a sense. If you're looking for like a premium looking chair, the Secret Lab does a great job here. Even just like the stitching, just the way this chair looks, it looks nice and expensive. And it is kind of on the more expensive side. And then we got the Blacklyte here, which does have this nice plush lumbar support. Is not adjustable. I wish it probably had that option. Personally, I did not feel that I had to adjust the lumbar or anything like that. It kind of fits my back perfectly, which was good. And then we got the magnetic pillow here, which is a plus there. And the Blacklyte here, the base I found to be the most comfortable here. Next is the Razer here, which the base kind of is on the firmer side. And the lumbar feels good on the Razer one. I'm able to adjust it exactly the way I want it to. And it kind of protrudes out a bit here. So I think when it comes time to adjusting the lumbar support, the Razer does a really good job there. The other thing which I like the Razer for is kind of the armrest, because if you're on your phone sometimes playing a game, this just makes it super comfortable to go ahead and hold your phone. When it comes down to like reclining or anything like that, all three kind of do a really good job. There's really no like the best one does this or that. The metal base down here, all these three kind of feel like they have the same thing going on. Just the Secret Lab is a little bit more shinier, the metal, but they all have the same design. Probably they're getting all these from the same factory. So when it comes down to paying attention to detail, definitely I give that to the Secret Lab. The most comfortable kind of base here, I think the Blacklyte here gets to be the winner here. And then the Razer here with the best kind of like lumbar support adjustment here. But definitely not the pillow here, because I really don't like these kind of straps, these old school straps on chairs. Hopefully I was able to go ahead and give you some good information on these chairs here. If you have any questions or anything that I missed on testing on these chairs, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.